At the end of March, the USDA released its first guess as to what farmers would be planting in 2011. Joining us now for this week's Bottom Line is Neil Melancon. And Neil, I understand there was a little surprise in there, not as far as acreage, but carryout from last year.
Avery, the quarterly grain stocks report came out the same day as the prospective plantings report, and traders quickly took note of its contents because there's less grain out there than they were expecting, particularly for corn. Although a drawdown in stocks in this time of year is normal, but this was an especially precipitous drop for the grains, again, particularly for corn. This chart shows the stocks where they were at the end of 2010, and as you can see, corn stocks dropped more than 4 billion bushels due to an increase in both exports and China, as an unexpectedly high feed usage came in as well due to the record high livestock prices that we're seeing right now. The other grains are fairly normal in their drawdown rates and similar to their levels from last year, but beans are getting tight in supply, and the planted acres report doesn't offer much relief. Overall, it looks like farmers are going to increase corn acres from last year while planting less soybeans. Wheat is also showing a significant increase in acres, about 5 million more than 2010, and prices are continuing to climb on shortfalls in production across the globe. The bottom line is that even if all the acres for corn comes to pass and we have a good crop, we're only going to add about 220 million bushels into our stocks at the end of the year. This will mean tight stocks for corn as well as beans, and that's only if we have perfect weather. However, there are two things to keep in mind here. First is that American farmers overall have added only about 8 million more acres of production this year as opposed to last. And second, this is only a prospective plantings number. Oftentimes, farmers will wait to plant to see what everyone else is doing before committing to their own acres. If they think beans might shoot up in price as a result of this drop in acres, Avery, we could see an increase in bean acres, possibly at the expense of cotton or some other commodity.
And with prices the way they are, that's going to be a very tough decision. Thank you very much, Neil Melancon. And remember, if you'd like to hear more from Neil, you can listen to his daily reports on the Louisiana Farm Bureau Radio Network. For a list of stations or to listen online, click over to our website, twilatv.org, and look for the link called LFB Radio Network on the left side of the homepage. Well, that does it for this edition of This Week in Louisiana Agriculture. Join us next week when we'll see why Mike was on assignment this week. We'll bring you to an entire show from South America. You'll see how their farmers are a lot like ours and why the American Farm Bureau Federation is pushing for a trade agreement with our counterparts south of the equator. Until then, you can watch all of our stories online on our website, twilatv.org. For all of us here on the Twila team, I'm Avery Davidson. Thank you so much for joining us. We hope to see you here again next week.